Sorry, it's Rita. Thank you for speaking to us. What you were saying seems to depend on an idea of order, an order between members of a community and an order between a community and God. I was wondering, and it seems like your idea of focusing only on objective rights is also to kind of ensure that a community can remain itself even when it interacts with other communities. But in a situation where two communities come together and they have to reorder within themselves, and some of the rights that they see as objective differ, what happens? What approach would Christianity take to this situation? What in your view, what's the result?
That, it seems to me, there are no quick fixes in the political realm. That is to say, in a sense, I can't answer your question because I don't know. What would happen would entirely depend on whether one was a very much a minority community, whether they were more or less equal, in their population, so that there had to be I presume you are now talking about a political situation, because there would be no other reason why they would have were the right their conceptions of objective goods would be endangered by other communities. Is that right? Have I got that right?
Yes, yeah. But if it's political,
yes.
The political arises from the social, so it's got...
But how do they live together in a political society? And so I just wanted to, that was just a clarification of what you were getting at. So I would go back to, I don't know if the two communities were perhaps about equal in population, they might have to have somewhat separate legal systems. There might be, as for instance, I think has been the case, but is progressively less so in India, accommodating different communities at certain levels. So if it's a federal system, then where different community laws are affected, would depend on the level at which these problems arise. There is a common good that, in the political society. If it wants to stay together as a political society, there is a common political good which is going to require a rather delicate negotiation of communal goods. When it's a matter of a small minority, they may well be protected as much as possible within public law in terms of the internal workings of the community, but not have public representation. I'm speaking now very much as a person from the British Isles, where some religious institutions do have public representation and others don't. Different political systems handle that differently. But do you see the point, in a sense, I'm making in relation to your question, that there is no one way of handling it. But I think that what I would call the ideology of egalitarian rights, in which all individuals and all communities have to be treated equally, to be respected equally, is in many societies not on, and not a good idea, and doesn't actually serve the common good.